bottles. So I'm very interested. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I was watching how much time you were listening to you. But the panda and China and the Worldwide Fund for Nature, I mean, this connection is not very precise. The panda is there because it's a very precious animal, and our effort to protect environment and nature is based on this pricelessness, because we only have one Earth, we cannot live on any other planets, and the measures that we are taking to save nature are very much focused on saving us as mankind. So what is WWF, Worldwide Fund for Nature? So in Slovakia, it's the biggest organization present in more than 100 countries. It was established in 1961, and in Slovakia we are as an independent civic association which groups experts together. We are working in various areas. We are an expert organization as a civic, basically as a civic association, NGO. So we belong to this big environment of NGOs. We are partners for companies, for state authorities, and for programs. And all our activities that we are doing are basically focused on nature-based solutions. So we try to work with nature and use the procedures that are very verified by the evolution, millions of years of evolution and long periods of time of natural selection. So these methods and procedures we try to apply to the measures that we are taking. So now I'm going to speak about the topic which is related to the restoration of natural locations, because many of them remained in our cities as fragments. Many times those are places that where couldn't be done any constructions because there was some deep underground water, because there used to be a river. And as the technologies and our human capacities and also knowledge are making progress, many times also some construction is spreading and people try to use these areas. We are, however, trying to explain also through various kinds of data and further knowledge that many times these rests of natural habitats can be something which can be very useful when it comes to climate change and also development in the urban areas. When we can integrate these fragments into a widely used environment, it is many a time technically, financially, and a better way, and also from the human point of view, because if we should do something from scratch, we need to allocate some area and so on, and it's very complicated. So in the urban area, in the cities, if we have these fragments, it can be considered whether it's possible to integrate it into environment, and if so, many time it can affect the protection against floods. It's very attractive for people. They use it for free time activities, for sports, for rest, for fishing, and so on and so on. And also often we see a positive impact which can be even measured. So the protection and restoration of the rest of natural areas, we take it as a tool for adaptation to climate change. We also have some strategic documents here. I have selected a few of them which are applicable and according to which we can proceed. So this integration of natural remainings into urban areas, it's part of the water policy, which speaks about the enhancement of the natural policy, because it's not only about fish and frogs, but it's about the integration and continuity of this riverland, because river is not what we see that flows, but it's all the environment around it, the wetland around it, which is important for the protection and security and so on. So I will now introduce you to three examples of this restoration of natural locations, and this is around Bratislava, and one is on the river Hron. All of these three examples are good practices, examples from practice, but not always good practice, because the first one which I chose hasn't had a successful end to it yet, but I wanted to show you how we work, how we integrate these locations to the urban areas, and how we restore the processes, how we work with water, how we approach water, that it's not based on impressions that somebody says that yes, here the water will flow, but it is a very much thought through activity and planned into each detail. So the area I'm going to speak about is Biskupické Rameno here in Bratislava. And the people from Bratislava, I will just show you, I hope. So this is the Nový Lužný most, the new wetland bridge, which was built as a part of the big transportation construction, which deviates the traffic out of Bratislava to the Bratislava agglomeration, Bratislava metropolitan area, so the municipalities around the city. This is Biskupické Rameno, where I'm showing you, which is the area which during this construction process was included in so-called compensation measures. So the state should have invested into restoration of this area, and we were asked to participate in this restoration, because the water which was here, or which was supposed to be here, was directed into this area, and it wasn't very safe. So we were trying to put this water from here to this big red circled area. So it wasn't just a purpose that was out of blue. It was preceded by long-term research by the Slovak scientists, and it used to be a part of a huge area which with a higher water level, or when there were floods, this water was flowing out of it. And when Gabčíkovo was built, it was cut through and it appeared behind the flood protection, so therefore we had a huge area which could be used for irrigation. And also this area was in the past identified as a very attractive for the recreation, and also in the flood plans and flood risk plans it was defined as the area where, in case of big hazard, water could be diverted here, and it all looked very nice. We joined forces with Slovak Institute for Water Engineering. So this is basically the Biskupické Rameno. This is the bridge I was talking about, and the target was to dig 300 long channel, and this water from this river to get into those areas, or to this channel, because now this is the area which should have diverted water to this canal, which is not good from the water management point of view. So this is the area where we wanted to divert the water to. We went through a lot of places when we made a research what it looks like. We researched the entire ecosystem and did some modeling. When these locations are integrated into the area, we need to know exactly that when we let the water in, how much, what it will do, where it will flow, and what we are going to basically flat, and what road are we going to cut off. So we had to discuss this with owners, with users of this area, with the state protection of nature, with scientists of all kinds. We therefore selected the areas where the water could flow in through the canal, or this entire area used to be the flat area and was cut from the active inundation by the dam, and we still have there some river forms. And what we achieved was that we projected what to dig, where, how much soil we need. We also planned these connections here. We communicated it below the bridge, and then there was the permit process, and the public could give their opinions. This is the example I was talking about. As I told you, it requires a lot of talking, a lot of discussion, and we discovered this entire arm, or this entire area which was permitted. We discovered that this big company that did the infrastructure, or the consortium that did the infrastructure, and where we wanted to let the water flow, they didn't do this their homework. So when we almost started digging, we discovered that when we really let the water flow here, because it was parallel, we don't know how it will affect Slovnaft, which is the refinery. So we, with our colleagues from the Institute of Water Agriculture or Water Industry, we had the model prepared, and the result was that it would affect Slovnaft refinery. Therefore, further modeling was necessary, and the result was very good from the adaptation, climate change adaptation point of view. So we could divert the water there, and it would drop the risk of flooding the area. So we can send, so to say, this water here. It will evaporate. Biodiversity was great. However, there was this one issue that we didn't know how much this refinery would be affected. So from the adaptation point of view, great, biodiversity too, socio-economic aspect also, but we have to further research this. So currently, as I said, that the project has not been successfully completed. This is what I meant, that we need to do further measurements, we need to take further measures, and we'll see what will happen after the discussions with state authorities, because we as an NGO cannot really solve what should have been solved a long time ago, where this big infrastructure was built here. But we are not giving up. We are the pandas, because they are very slow, but they finally reach their destination. So I hope that in 1, 2, or 3 years I will inform about the results. But I have very quickly 2 successful projects, restorations. So we are going a bit southern on the Danube. We are going to Istrago. This is on the Hungarian border. If you've been there, you know that it is very well used. This is the area of so-called Istrago armbed, and just some time ago, this was completely cut through it. This green was quite dry, but our colleagues already were digging through it, and now they have the moisture. So, but we need still some help with this part, because we need this water, and it also is shown in the models. We need to support this flow, and we also want to do this short way, and it is also the very popular area for recreation. So we did some modeling, and now we have also done the public procurement and everything, you know, and in the beginning of November we are starting with digging. All the sediments that we find will create a new area. So we have the bigger volume where the water can flow in case of floods, and it is very beneficial for the biodiversity. Something similar is down at the Hron River in Hronský Beňadik. It's a very nice small town. If you can, please visit, because they have a beautiful church and a chateau. And okay, again, here we are modeling here and calculating at what level, how much flooded it will be, how much the flood risk will be raised, how much the water or the amount of water will be raised, or whether it's going to be possible or the water will just flow and will be not retained. So what about the biodiversity, the protection against the floods, and also support of river processes? This should be done next year. And the two last slides that I have here connect our effort with the effort of companies and enterprises. As an NGO, we cooperate with the business sector, and they asked us frequently that, yes, you connect the rivers here, but we can help you, but we need this water for our activity. So WWF has interesting tools where companies can check the availability of the water, what measures can be done for regional or local improvements. So this is our website where you can click through it. You can check it in the entire world, and it's also related to biodiversity. And this is also interesting website, which is about the recommendations and good practices regarding the business that is dependent on water, and from the water availability they can plan their investments. So these are our activities we are doing, and thank you for your attention.